What's up, guys? It's Chris here. In today's video, we're going to take a look at how Veve updated their metadata via Immutable X. So we're now able to see a lot more stuff. So in today's video, we're going to break down that Medium article that Veve put out talking about the metadata changes. What is metadata? What changed about the comics and collectibles? And we're going to take a look at Immutascan to see how this actually looks. I now work Web3 full time, so I'm really excited to see a lot more things on Immutascan. We're going to be talking about on-chain and off-chain and a lot of other things in this video. I'm going to try to pack it out, but at the same time, I'm going to try to keep it nice and short for you guys as well. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So I'm not going to break down the entire article, but essentially here's what it is. What is NFT metadata? So NFTs are tokens that are actually stored on the blockchain. So as you see right here, this means that the token part of your non-fungible token lives on chain. But the actual asset, like the image files, videos, etc., and any other information that displays what the token actually represents is typically stored off-chain. This information is known as NFT metadata, and by storing it off-chain, we reduce the computational power and therefore the cost of environmental impacts of using Ethereum network. So what does all of that mean? So this part I somewhat disagree with. Ethereum did recently move to proof of stake. The environmental impact is pretty frictionless, 99.85% better for the environment. On top of that, this is layer 2, which scales it even more carbon neutral than Ethereum layer 1. So at the end of the day, that metadata can actually be stored on chain, but they are correct to say that mostly it is off chain. And here's the reason: it costs a lot to put all of that metadata on chain, especially for Veve, where you have millions of collectibles and comics to all store on chain. So it makes sense that these things will be stored off chain. Now, the problem with this, but this is also a problem with a lot other NFT projects, is that at the end of the day, whatever server is hosting those images, those files, those videos, if that went down for any reason, you would only be left with the address, the token address. You would not be left with any images, any videos, anything else on chain. That's why some projects are fully built on chain. For instance, Moonbirds moved to fully on chain. That way, the only way to lose access to your Moonbird picture or your JPEG is if the Ethereum network went down, which is a lot less likely than whatever other storage that you're using. But again, not very practical for Veve, so it makes sense that they're saying this and that they're doing this. We'll move on to the next section. So essentially, up until this point, the only time you could view transaction history, at least the only time you could view minting and transferring, was on the Veve app. But now Immutable is going to serve the same way as Veve app, or very similar, which again we'll look at firsthand in just a bit. These are the things that you can expect to see from the collectibles, and again we're just going to look at it, so I'm not going to go through them one by one, but some interesting strategies and some interesting things to do with all of this. So let's go ahead and look at Immutascan. Until this moment, Immutascan, as far as Veve goes, I'm not going to lie, it was actually pretty garbage. It was very, very limited as I positioned the screen, and you couldn't really see anything. But now you can see people are minting 1 minute ago, and you can see, that it's this Nova comic. So you can see exactly what they're minting. If you look over here to the right, I'll go ahead and zoom in a bit. You can see that you have all these different traits. Like you have the rarity right here, you have the series, you have the artist, edition, writers, drop date, publisher, start year, comic, cover artist. So those are all the things that you can expect to see over the comic metadata. Again, very important for those who do care about on-chain. Again, I apologize for kind of moving this around a lot. I just didn't want to do a lot of cuts in this video. But another thing when it comes to this that Hello K brought up, and I just thought was pretty genius, is you'll actually be able to strategize a bit with which mint numbers have been minted already. This is going to require a little bit advanced API use, and basically you'll just be able to track all the token numbers, all the mint numbers that were already minted by a comic or collectible, and from there you can kind of see what's left and see if it's worth the gamble to mint or not. I thought that was a very interesting perspective from Hello K. But all right, so as you can tell right here, this person minted 3 minutes ago, the Scythe. So Immutascan also, it's not showing trade volume. I don't like that. It shows unique owners, which is pretty cool. So right now it looks like we have 648,003 unique owners on Veve at the time of making this video. According to Immutascan, that means owning at least one collectible or comic or setting up a wallet. Yes, a lot of these could be bot accounts still. So back to it, the scythe was minted 3 minutes ago. If we go and click on that transaction, we can see everything about the scythe. This is the token ID. It's an ER721. It's from Veve and it was minted. And here again at the top right, you can see the brand, the rarity, the image, the series, edition, drop date, license or edition type, and total editions. This is a really big update for Veve to implement. Again, just a lot more important for people to be able to see all of this metadata on Immutable X. I would be interested in, maybe tracking certain wallets. Like, let's see the transfer opposed to the mint. We can see that this wallet right here, all the transactions that they've done, all the token mints that they did, all the transfers. I'm wondering if wallet tracking will become a bigger thing now that we have this. You can actually sort by items and just kind of see all the images of items down here, that were minted or transferred. Click on them. You can see the wallet that is owned by, which you've always been able to do, but we didn't have any of this up here to the right of this image that I'm sharing, which again is a big deal. You can see who it's owned by and see what kind of activity that they've done since they've had their wallet and have been active on Veve, and it shows all right there on the back end. So overall, I think this is a big step in the right direction for Veve. I think that metadata is very important because up until this moment, it was just bad. I mean, you would go to Immutascan, there'd be nothing on there. Like, I didn't even know if my TOD at the time was like the same mint number as the TOD on Veve. That's one thing that I was really concerned about, if like mint numbers would vary between Veve and on the back end, on the blockchain. So like we have more confirmation on that now. We have more confirmation on like them being NFTs on Immutable than we've had before. I think we'll see a lot more wallet tracking. I think we'll see a lot more use of Immutascan now that we have this information. A lot of very intelligent minds using this in great ways. So I'm excited to see what happens over this. I will say I am ready and hope that they do come up with sales data next. That just shows, the sale of this item, how much this person spent, what are true volume behind these floors, how many people are buying. I think there's some people that track the API. We have Veve Fox that does videos on it, and we have Omi the Clown. I think we have VMate now, but I want to see that on the back end. I want to see that on the blockchain. I want to see how much these people are spending on certain floors instead of seeing a floor that might be sitting there for a while and being relisted lower or relisted higher. I want to see that sales volume and what's going on. So that's what I would love to see next for Veve as far as this goes. But this is definitely a huge step in the right direction, a lot more credible as NFTs with this. That's not really why I'm making this video. I'll allow whoever's watching this video to develop their own opinions about this, but let me know what you think about this update down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.